was late at night. Ethan sat alone under the old oak tree outside his house, his eyes fixed on the dark, endless fields that stretched beyond the village of Willow Creek. Silence had blanketed the town like a fog. For the past few months, everything in Willow Creek had changed. People had started falling ill, but not with ordinary sickness. They sleepwalked with their eyes open. They whispered nonsense. Some would scream in the middle of the night, terrified of their own shadows. Rumors began spreading like wildfire. Some said a curse had fallen on Willow Creek. Others whispered of something worse, a spirit that had claimed the land. Ethan remembered when it all began, just a few months ago. Brian, the mayor's only son, was the first. He stopped eating. He'd wake up in the middle of the night and walk straight to the old sycamore tree on the edge of town. When he spoke, it didn't sound like him. At first, people thought it was some strange illness, but when Brian jumped into the town well one morning and was found lifeless, the town began to fear the worst. Now, that same fear had returned tonight. Ethan spotted a faint light coming from the shack at the far end of the village, Mr. Raymond's cabin. He was known for his calm and wisdom, but lately he had stopped sleeping. His son Jacob, once the friendliest and most hard-working young man in the village, had grown angry and distant. His eyes stayed bloodshot. He talked to himself. He stared at empty corners for hours. Ethan stood up slowly and walked toward the cabin. As he got closer, the air grew heavy with a strange, metallic smell like rust and burning wood. The door was slightly ajar. He could hear Jacob's voice from inside. "I don't like it here. This place burns me." Mr. Raymond sat slumped in a chair, his face pale with fear. Jacob lay on the floor, his body twitching unnaturally. His eyes rolled up into his head. "Mr. Raymond, what's happening?" Ethan asked as he stepped inside. Mr. Raymond looked up slowly. His voice cracked. "That's not my son, Ethan. Something else is inside him." Jacob suddenly burst into a strange, raspy laugh. "You think you know anything, Ethan? This land is mine now. I will take it all back." Ethan froze. He had heard tales of possession, of lost spirits entering human bodies, but this was the first time he was seeing it happen. Jacob's body began to shake violently. "Who are you?" Ethan demanded. Jacob's lips moved, but the voice that came out was older, deeper, inhuman. "I lived here long before your town existed. They stole this land from me. They buried my bones and erased my name. But I never left, and now I'm taking it back, one soul at a time." A chill ran down Ethan's spine. He remembered something his grandmother used to say. "Lost spirits fear what's pure. Burn sage. Ring the old church bell. Purity can drive them away." "Mr. Raymond, do you still have the dried sage leaves?" The old man, still shaking, pointed to a small wooden box near the fireplace. Ethan ran over, opened it, and found several dry sage bundles. Jacob laughed again. "You think some old herbs can stop me?" Ethan didn't wait. He grabbed a sage leaf, lit it slightly from the candle, and slowly stepped toward Jacob. As the smoke reached Jacob's face, he screamed in agony. His back arched, his eyes darted. Ethan pressed forward, holding another leaf against Jacob's forehead. Jacob convulsed violently. A deep growl escaped his throat. Then, with a horrifying screech, a black smoky mass rose from his chest, spiraled upward, and vanished through the roof. Jacob collapsed to the floor. Silence filled the room. Moments later, Jacob's eyes fluttered open. They were normal, human again, confused. What happened? Mr. Raymond dropped to his knees and held his son tight. Tears streamed down his face. "You're back. Thank God you're back." From that night forward, the village began to heal. People who had suffered from strange behaviors recovered. Laughter slowly returned to the streets of Willow Creek. Ethan didn't forget. He planted sage and white lilies all around the town's edges. He built a small shrine near the old sycamore tree. And just before midnight each night, he'd walk the perimeter and light a stick of sage. He knew now, evil doesn't always stay gone, but as long as someone is watching, it can be kept at